We have Prashant Prabhakaran joining in now. Look at Nifty IT days high. Prashant, good afternoon. How you been doing? Looking at the markets, do you think there is a case for a bit of a corrective sideways consolidation in the market purely because the macro indicators have turned so bullish? And earlier, 12 months back, the market rallied with shaky fundamentals. And now that the fundamentals are falling in place, it's only understandable if markets catches some breath.
Good afternoon, Ajay. Pleasure interacting with you and your team post Diwali. This is the first interaction that I've had with the ET Now team. Happy Diwali to the viewers and you too. Needless to say, you're exactly right. Usually you have liquidity chasing fundamentals, but because of the last 1 year, one and a half year episode that has been there of COVID, it has been the exact opposite, where fundamentals have chased liquidity-led high valuations. But let us also understand that all the stimulus that the government has provided during this period of time, they have pushed on all cylinders to reduce the economic impact of COVID, loosening of the fiscal deficit, and combination of public expenditure that has happened has led to valuations coming back into focus and fundamentals coming back into shape. We have always remained bullish over the last 1 year and we continue to remain so. While there are some fears that there is tapering just around the corner, with liquidity, which is the heart of this global run across asset classes, instead of the fundamentals that we have spoken about. Our belief is that India, overall, the firm story, the long-term story remains intact, and actually it will become stronger because of the structural changes, the reforms that have been implemented in the country. So it is going to be a stronger, the sideways movement will be short-term. Our fundamentals will actually end up giving further pushes to the valuation levels which are there, and we continue remaining bullish and fully invested into the markets at this point of
time. Right now, one of the biggest events of the Times Network is actually happening in Delhi with top policymakers and everybody coming over and setting the agenda and also sharing the roadmap. Each of the ministries, policymakers, the mandate they're working on and the broader roadmap. And one is getting a sense that the reform momentum is not stopping anytime soon. Look at the GST numbers. Look at various ministries talking. It's like as if ministries are actually giving their 5-year plan and guidance, forward guidance, like usually given by corporates. Talk to us about how your observation has been and some areas where you are particularly excited about that companies and corporates will do phenomenally well, because now the partnership from the government and the corporates are going in full force in that direction.
Ajay, the biggest thing that has been there was the one clause the government took into account, which was to do away with the fiscal deficit target that they had set for themselves. That gives them the leeway to end up making sure that you could do a lot more, and all the reforms that have been launched from 2015-16. You have got to understand that every reform takes time to set in. Your digital push, you look at the UPI payments which has gone through the roof. Your GST implementation, look at the market share that has been gained by organized players and the reduction in the unorganized sector. All these are things that are big structural changes and which will not just impact Indian businesses but will also push global liquidity, which will have higher allocations for India and will propel India to a very pivotal position as far as the most preferred destination for India is concerned. You have things going exactly right, and on top of that, our assumption is that you will be included into the global bond indices before next Diwali, which will open a new chapter for both bond flows and the USD INR behavior that is going to be there in India. All big changes, Ajay. We are in for a period where I can clearly say which could turn out to be the golden period for the Indian economic history, and we have started on that journey. Extremely bullish, I think so. If you are patient and you are invested into the right sectors that the government is looking at, I think so there is enough money to be made above your average CAGR returns that you have had of approximately 14-15% from the Nifty over a period of time.
Space so well. That's the biggest area of the market as well, but has been a laggard. But within banking, there have been sparks of outperformance in private sector banks, corporate-centric private sector banks momentarily. Kotaks and HDFCs have lagged, whereas MFI-focused ones have also taken it on the chin. PSUs were never taken investment grade, but now are coming out with stellar set of numbers and management commentary and completely revived books. Which part of the financials, in your mind, will actually is the best vehicle to ride this 3-5 year economic expansion in your view? Or is a basket approach a better one?
No, I'll end up looking at a slightly different methodology. So we looked at the debt to equity ratio that is there in the corporate, that is there in the Nifty based companies, which is there, and it is lesser than the 2003 levels that we were at, which means that it is among the lowest. That means the risk appetite that is there among the Indian promoters has been lowest. But for the first time, because of again structural reforms, a PLI scheme coming in, all the corporates are starting to look at investing into building a private capex after a long time. It is practically after a 10-year cycle that private capex is coming back strongly, and there is a lot of interest that is coming. So if I end up looking at it as a financial sector investment, I'll end up looking at corporates, because you have cleaned out your balance sheets. Government has pushed hard on that. RBI has been pushing hard on cleaning up balance sheets. So clean balance sheet on the corporate side, a debt to equity ratio which is among the lowest that is there over a multi-decade period, all point to the fact that you will have corporate facing banks and lending cycles in that sector taking off. And because the ticket sizes will be larger in this, and it is going to go in for expansion, it might just turn out to be the bet which will be there, which will end up giving you returns which are going to be larger than what your bank Nifty returns will end up giving. So look at corporate sector banks, which will end up starting the cycle now over a period of time. On top of that, there will be recoveries because of the pushes that is there to end up getting settlements done by the NCLT courts to a large extent.
Did you observe the commentary of various managements coming in, at least the large ones, which could tell you the direction of business going forward? One was this quarter gone by, the margin pressure. Some say it's transitory and will be passed on, others say it will linger on. But apart from that, any observations from the big management commentary this quarter gone by?
So commodity cycle remains good, but as long as there is demand which will end up compensating for that, this will remain a minor obstacle that is there in the investment cycle that is going to be continued. So our belief remains, as I said, we look at data closely. The PLI scheme launched by the government is going to have practically a 30% increase in the present capacities and the investment that is going to be there. That, according to me, is the largest positive sentiment which is going to be there for the corporates in this space, at least for the next 5 years, which will keep the cycle going much ahead that is there. And as I said, if this continues, you'll have an ample amount of liquidity coming into India. You have also got to understand another core segment which has managed to end up getting IPOs out is the e-commerce and the segment which has traditionally been moving from one PE to the other. For the first time, there have been listings, and there's PE which is ending up raising money for India to end up giving this startup fraternity, this mature economy, a lot more push. It is going to be a different world from here on. And loosely said, it is the time to be invested into the markets, at least with a perspective of 5 year plus, to end up getting returns which are going to be fabulous from Indian perspective.
Which business actually going? Because I think stock markets is everybody wants to participate in. There's a new breed of investors which are coming in. Tell me something as somebody who's leading this business, which till just some time back was seen very commoditized business, but now everybody's business is actually booming. How are you guys actually trying to do it differently? Serve your conversation with your clients.
So, Ajay, I have seen multiple market cycles over the last 3 decades or so in this market, and every time it throws up new surprises, and this time also it is unique. You've got to understand the new breed of investors who are setting up the new rules of this game, and this count seems to be continuously growing. A risk appetite of these investors, the biggest change that is there is that they are easily able to digest huge drawdowns that are there. So a 40-50% correction doesn't end up getting them perturbed and they are willing to end up looking at a long-term game that is there. These are the same investors who have looked at IPOs which have largely been treated as high risk, considering that profitability in this new generation IPOs is a question mark at this point of time. But when you have growth that is there in the top line, growth in number of clients getting added, they have looked at it differently. They are entering into upcoming asset classes, something that I have not seen in the last 3 decades. So this breed is going to redefine the investment rules that are there, and we ourselves are ending up getting a digital platform prepared entirely to cater to them, because they don't want advice. They just want a transactionary platform available along with information being available on their fingertips, because they take their own decisions. They have ended up going ahead and ending up building up their own trading patterns, which will end up giving them returns from this market, and that seems to be doing pretty well. What we have built over the last 2 to 3 decades, in the last 1.5 years, the number of DP accounts has gone double of that, if not more. So you can imagine that this is a segment which is going to continue to rule these bourses for the next decades which are there, when India's economic pattern also changes. When the growth happens out there, these same investors will benefit from that.
Right, Manish Sabharwal of Team Lease earlier in the day on ET Now Swadesh was telling us that he's aware of at least 50 companies, large companies, who had very large operations running out of China, and because of the disruptions over there, now they are wanting to set up big shop in India and are now planning the human capital requirements, which is hiring. Do you see big investment coming into India over the next 4-5 years? Which are the sectors you think will be beneficiary of them?
So this is exactly what the seminar that you are talking about that ET Now is holding is exactly the key to this entire investment cycle. We have had the momentum slowly picking up because the skepticism that has been there for India is slowly getting removed. The government is moving in directions which will open up this investment cycle that is going to be there, and manufacturing, which remains also a focus for India, also remains key to the fact that a large portion of this will move into India, at least for a large set of global players that is going to be there. You're going to be competing with other Asian economies which are equally strong, and Indonesia, Vietnam, that is going to be there. But I think so our democracy, along with the reforms policy that has been started off, is an area which will end up giving strength to both the manufacturing sector that is going to be there, along with the fact that new generation businesses will have base that traditionally is taken up by China or Singapore at this point of time, moving back to India at some in the next 5 years or so. It remains an area that I am very interested in, and there will be a large scale investment that will happen into these sectors.
Shant, lovely chatting with you like always. Thanks for your time this afternoon and as well. Look forward to catching up also with you very shortly.
Thank you, Ajay.
Thanks.